really want to be with this person? Or are you serious to be alone and you're just sticking with what you know? Once again, you know I had to pull out the ring light. And I had to pull out the iPad because I got something to say. I want to talk about codependency. I'm getting straight to it. What is codependency? It's when you're dependent on another person to satisfy most, if not all, of your needs. You feel very attached to this person to the extent to where you may not know how to function without them. You may just constantly need to either be with them or talk to them. Without that person, you feel lonely. You probably feel like your world is crashing down, or you just feel sad and like something's missing. Without a specific person or just a person in general. Usually, like everything else, stems from things you were taught in childhood, things you developed in childhood. You may be codependent on you could be codependent on a friend and a romantic partner. And that probably stems from at some point you felt abandoned by other people, or you felt very lonely. And as you got older and you started developing closer interpersonal relationships with other people, those traits stayed with you. And as a result, you cling on to people. And you may have a low sense of identity and low sense of self because you don't know who you are without other people. And yeah, so that's what I would define codependency as. Now, the problem with it should be kind of obvious. I kind of already said it, but it's that you're dependent on another person. And there's nothing wrong with being a dependable person. Like, people know they can depend on you to come through for them, you know, do things for them in a sense of help when they need it, and that you're just a solid friend. There's a difference between that and then we get to the other end where it's like, I don't know how to be by myself. I feel incomplete without another person. If this person leaves me, I don't know what I will do. And a lot of times I feel like codependency keeps people stuck in relationships, friendships, and romantic that they likely don't either resonate with or they just plain shouldn't be in. But it's because you're scared to lose this person because that fear of being alone and that fear of loneliness, and what if I never find love again, and what if nobody ever loves me again, and what if this is just what I have to deal with because I want to be with this person. But it's like, do you really want to be with this person? Or are you scared to be alone and you're just sticking with what you know? Hey, pero yo no sé. Each person, I guess, that would experience this obviously will have a different experience. I want to speak about it today because I've been there. And I didn't even realize it. And I want anybody else that was living that life to you know, realize it. Realize, you know? So I just want you to know so you can do better. So you can live your best life, because codependency is not cute. It's not fun. And it's not going to get you far. It's just really going to keep putting you in cycles. And you're going to be wondering why God is putting you through these treacherous trials. But it's really you. It's really you putting yourself in those issues. And I know that that's hard to accept, but sometimes it's you. It's not the other person, it's you. These are just the facts, bro. I hate to say it, bro. Don't shoot the messenger, but it's the truth. And another reason I want to talk about it, like I said, one, because, you know, I've been there. So I'm going to speak on my own experience, my own learnings, growth, development, to help others. And also, I just know some people that need to hear this. I feel like I've come to this sense of awareness within myself when it comes to codependency. I've fully registered the times in which I was acting like that. When I was with somebody that I shouldn't have been with, kept going through certain cycles. And in my heart, I knew that that's not what I wanted anymore. I knew that this person wasn't going to be able to give me what I wanted in a romantic relationship, or even in a friendship. I feel like this person couldn't meet me to the depths of which I really desired my friendships to be at. Yet I stayed because I was scared of change. I didn't want to lose these people. I just constantly was listing pros and cons in my head type of situation. Like, oh, well, let's think about all these good things. Maybe I'm just focusing on the negative, and really just convincing myself otherwise. When no, the truth was plain as day. My intuition knew. I knew. And I convinced myself otherwise. And as a result, I stayed in certain situations that I could have avoided. And I was in them for a long time, years. So it's like, damn, no wonder I felt this way for a long time, because I was constantly going through these cycles and just staying stagnant, keeping myself stagnant. And I also came to the awareness that I was doing this because I had a low sense of self outside of how people perceived me. I just always wanted to be looked at as a good person, like I'm doing the right thing, I'm on the right track, wanting that low-key, wanting that praise and just that acknowledgement. And I didn't even realize that because I was chasing this, it's like I wasn't even really tapping into me and my true desires. Like, I felt like things that I liked were weird, that certain things that I liked weren't cool, kind of tried to make myself a certain way, didn't turn out that well because that wasn't fully who I was. And then I had to go through the whole understanding that I don't fit in the box. I never have, and that's been my problem. I've been trying to find where I fit in. I don't. I'm not even in the box. I'm not even, well, not in the box. I'm not even in the vicinity of the box. Like, I'm out here. I'm out here. You feel me? Like, I'm outside that bitch. Like, I am multi-dimensional. I don't fit in one category. Like, I'm so fluid, and like my mind changes all the time. I always am evolving. Literally, I'm a different person than I was yesterday, because I'm just constantly shedding layers and constantly like becoming somebody else. And I didn't really want to accept that. I feel like there was something wrong with that. Like, I need to be a certain way. I need to find my aesthetic. Like, when I get older, things are going to be better because I'm going to love my partner. We're going to live happily forever after. That right there, codependency. And I didn't even realize it. It was ingrained in me at such a young age that, like, the main goal is, you're going to find someone that you fall in love with. Y'all going to run away, get your house, shack up, lock in, get married, and have some kids, have some little babies, and then start your family. That's the goal. Have your family, you and your partner, get your good careers going, raise your family, bring up some upstanding citizens of society, and you got it. That's that white picket fence life, like that's what you want. But like, why do we put so much stress on romantic love? I feel like that's a whole nother thing. But it ties into the codependency, because it's like, we've also been taught that like eventually it's just gonna be you and your partner, pretty much. Like, yeah, the love you have with your family is always gonna be there, but that was more important in like childhood and when you were actually dependent on someone to take care of you. Then teenage, that's when you're like in school. You get romantic relationships in teenage years, but like, you're really finding your friend groups and stuff, and you're really locked in with people that are like you. You have your little community of friends or couple friends, however it was for you, whatever. But then after that, it goes to the romantic. And so many people I know that are older don't either say they haven't talked to their friends in years, haven't seen their friends in years, they all just doing the family thing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, is that not lonely to depend only on your romantic partner for everything? You want your partner to be your only best friend, and like, you want to just like them to be everything for you. Why? Why can't you have multiple people that you have different intimate relationships with? And when I say intimate, I don't mean like necessarily physically intimate, like you guys are having sex, but you can be intimate in a plethora of ways. You can be intimate with somebody just by being real and being vulnerable and really speaking on shit that you maybe don't feel comfortable speaking on, you know, like being raw and vulnerable. That's intimate. You could be physically intimate with friends without it leading to something else, like just hugging, embracing one another, you know, just holding each other, comforting each other, different ways. But like, why do we feel like those type of things need to be reserved for your romantic partner, and you can't also have those within your friendships? That also comes from insecurity. But I feel like that's another thing too. I've peeped people being codependent with me and like kind of expecting me to be all like, you making me your main priority. But I didn't ask you to do that. I really don't want you to do that at all, because then I know, one, you're going to be codependent on me and you're going to be looking for all your happiness within me, and I'm literally not going to be able to do that for you. And then your perception of me is just going to be shattered, and then things aren't going to work well. Well, let's start there with how you perceived me wasn't who I really was, because you chose to see me but not see me. Chose to look at me and imagine me to be all you've ever wanted, but you didn't see me for who I was. Really recognizing that I'm multifaceted, I'm multidimensional, constantly changing, constantly growing, and you couldn't meet me there. And so you just clung to your idea of me. And once you saw me starting to blossom and starting to embrace myself more, that triggered you almost. That made you feel like you were losing me. But I was never yours in the first place. I don't belong to anyone. I'm no one's property. I'm me. I am me. Me. I could love you so deeply, but I am not yours. I'm not. I could love you so deeply, want you to succeed in every fucking sense of the word. Succeed in every aspect of your life. Chase all of your dreams and be successful in those aspects. To be who you really are, to embrace yourself fully. I could want that for you. I could be praying for you every night. I could be doing things for you just out of care of my heart, you know, just wanting to do acts of service for you, this and that. I could want that for you so deeply. But does that mean that you own me and that I'm not allowed to grow and I'm not allowed to change my mind and I'm not allowed to be all of me? No. And that's the problem. That's the problem. And I also, just me personally, this is going off on a tangent, but I feel like this is because I just have a different sense of knowing than some people. I have a deeper sense of who I am. I have a deeper sense of self than some people. Like, I've kind of got past that point of being scared of embracing myself fully. I've gotten past that point of being scared to be all that I am. Not everybody's there yet, so it caused some rifts for sure. But I've definitely gone on a tangent, and that's okay. Back to codependency. So, I was saying that codependency stems from insecurity within yourself, not knowing yourself, and feeling lonely, and feeling very lonely without other people, which is normal. Don't get me wrong. Like, people need other people. Don't get me wrong. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about depending on someone else for your happiness, essentially. Yeah, when I was younger, I definitely just cling to the idea that once I fell in love, that would save me. Like, I'll be gone, living the best life ever with the love of my life. He's gonna understand me so well, and it's gonna be like a perfect match made in heaven, and we're gonna be so in love. It's gonna be great. Okay, that's a cute thought, But all of the issues and all the problems that I was enduring, all the stresses, etc., Prince Charming wasn't going to erase those. Like, they weren't just going to go away because I fell in love, you know? And when I actually did fall in love, I, kind of got hit with the reality check, like, damn. First relationship, and we don't even, in my brain, that didn't even happen. That was a fever dream. High school was a fever dream. But the first relationship after that, it was a lot to unpack with me. And being in a relationship with somebody that was completely different from the couple of dudes I've messed with in the past. And I was just like, wow, like, this is crazy. Not realizing that I had deep trust issues, and I don't know. I once again still kind of had that mentality of, well, this is what I wanted. This is the partnership that I've been praying on, manifesting, journaling about, whatever. But it's like, is this even what I really want? My perception of love changed because I realized I didn't want one person to be my one and only. And another part of being codependent is you might even change up who you are. Like, not fully embrace yourself, not fully be honest with what you want, what you desire, what you like, because you're kind of catering to the other person to be what you think that they want you to be. And in the end, you're just cheating yourself, because it's like you're forcing something to work that wasn't even meant for you in the first place. And that's all codependency is. Forcing something that wasn't for you in the first place because you're scared to be alone.